can see clearly now. The freeze is gone. Gotta remove all obstacles from my way. Hey everybody, Lady Cheryl here. It is cold out here. And you can see it's still very windy. It's Monday, but tomorrow morning is supposed to be 31 degrees as opposed to 32 degrees as I said in my last video. I'm going inside. I just came back with my family for dinner, and I thought I'd just come out here and just look around, and I'll show you things have blown down, but it's okay. It's going to be fine. The winds were 28 miles an hour last night, and so we have some things that are down in the garden. I changed my mind. I did not cover those figs, those little baby fig trees, but everything is looking pretty good. It's going to be 31 degrees for just a few hours, so I don't think it's going to be that bad. But I'll let you guys know when I get back from dialysis. And also in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you what the garden looks like after it warms up. Can you believe it's going to be in the upper 80s and low 90s in a few days? Yep, that's just where the cookie crumbles. These two pots fell off of the stands. This one and this one, that's with the rosemary and the sage, and I probably should have put it on the ground anyway. But this cold snap should be over real soon. Do you all remember when I told you guys that I learned to work smart and not hard? And when I originally potted up my seedlings, I had 3 shoe boxes here. Now, as the plants grew and got taller, I had to remove one, and today I'm going to remove the second one, because if you look real close, this is more than 2 inches from the light, and these flowers are getting ready to bloom. There's zinnias, there's one there, and also I have a datura, which is a bush-type moonflower, getting ready to bloom. This one is not as close, but this is kind of warm, because these are full spectrum lights. And so now I'm going to move the shoe boxes, and I better do it because I'm doing all this with one hand and I'm trying to film, and these are getting real close too. So I'm going to remove one of the shoe boxes on, let's say, these two. Yeah, because I still got enough space here. And I'm going to lower them down a little bit more. I'll be right back. I lowered these 2 shoe boxes, and that'll give these flowers plenty of room. And I also removed the tomato plant, this mushroom basket tomato plant. You see, it's real tall, and it'll get enough light. And I put the pepper plants over here, and I decided to go ahead and let the moonflower, let it go ahead on and bloom. Because these are going to be here for about 2 more days. It's supposed to be 31 degrees tomorrow in Mesquite, Texas. And I'll wait until it warms up. And a few days later, it's going to be back up to 85 degrees. And I was bringing these out to let them acclimate. And after I clear all of this out, I'm going to show you what I'm going to put in its place. Hey, everybody. It is Tuesday morning. It's about 7 o'clock. And I'm at the dialysis center, but I want you all to know that the bad weather, or I should say freezing temperatures, have passed. It was 32 degrees when I woke up this morning, but it's currently now 37 degrees. And I'm all clear of this freezing weather. In a few days, it's going to be in the 90s. I am so thankful. It is Wednesday, March 18th. The high today will be in the medium 70s, and look at these beautiful plants. They're getting ready to go downstairs and outside so that I can acclimate them. Let me show you close up. Look at those zinnias. They're coming out. Texas red star hibiscus. Let's see, this is a mushroom basket tomato. Look how tall that is. I'm going to bury that all the way down in the soil till about right, let me see, about right there. And I have the giant green tomatoes over here. Cucumbers, they really need to go out, because you see they're putting on the tendrils so they can start climbing on the trellis that I'm going to use. These are moringa peppers. It's the first time me growing this one. It's supposed to be a medium-sized sweet pepper. Very healthy, polished leaves. And then we have some datura right here, the moonflower. This one trying to bloom, and I thought I saw one over here trying to bloom. They only bloom at night, so we got to get them acclimated real quickly. This is beautiful. What is this right here? I don't even know what this is. Let me see. Oh, shit, slap myself. The Texas Red Star Hibiscus. That's the same thing right there. I know now why I got confused with this plant. Look at this right here. This is a Texas Red Star Hibiscus, like right there. And right here, I'm almost certain this is one of those African sunflowers. Yep, somehow I dropped the seed in the wrong spot. But that's okay. I will do my best to separate them. I'm back upstairs, guys, and I want you to see that I have this station growing my seedlings in. Right here, I've got shoe boxes back up to 3. 1, 2, 3. All the way across, 3 shoe boxes. So now let me show you the last set of seeds I've started. Assorted zinnias right here. I put them under the light and take the top off once I get a few to pop up. And right here, it takes a little bit longer for these California Wonders. Those are the ones that I know from experience that are very heat tolerant and grow well up into the first frost, all through the summer and the fall. Here is Swiss Chard, very heat tolerant. I got the light on. These lights would just be a heat source. Okay, now let's talk about these over here. These are marigolds. I'm gonna put these outside in a few days when we get temps up into the 90s. Let me show you the Zook, which is Zucchini Black Beauty. One of them germinated, so I'm taking the top off. They'll all pop up real soon. And the butternut squash. And another one I want to show you right here is the dwarf summer squash. Now, I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. I had not planned on growing squash this year because I didn't get a lot of squash before that squash vine borer took over last year. And I said, well, maybe I just won't grow it. But then my baby girl, who's in her 40s, called me from work and said, Mama, you're not growing any squash? Because that's her favorite. She likes zucchini and squash. So I decided to drop some of those seeds right in these 3 here. And I'm going to try it again. And I was looking at a video from Kindest Gardening. I'll put a link to her channel in the comments. We were talking about we got hit by squash vine borer and squash bugs, and she said she was going to cover hers up and pollinate. And I said, yeah, I used to do that too, but I was trying not to work so hard this year. But then, you know, never say never, because when my daughter called, I said, okay, I'll try it again. So that's why I've got the summer dwarf squash. These will be real little, so maybe I get a chance to get a lot before I get attacked. Of course, I love Black Beauty zucchini, and then the butternut squash. It's really my favorite. I like to make soup out of it. Now, I'm going to show you something that you're going to think I'm crazy, but I don't care. These are some Tiny Tim tomatoes. I just threw these seeds in. It was the last of the seed starting mix. I know what they are because, hold on, let me show you. Here's the seed package. I try to use the same package. And I'm sure, yep, I did. 2nd generation. So this will be the 3rd generation of those seeds. They look kind of weird, but I'm going to prick them out and I'm putting them outside immediately. They won't have to be hardened off or acclimated because they're very young. So all I have to do is just prick out a clump like this and put it in some soil. And then eventually, as they keep growing, I would just snip off the ones that I don't want. If you're a seasoned gardener, you can do that. I don't recommend if you gardening for the first time to do this. And again, the only reason why I'm doing it is because these seeds are free. I collect them from previously grown tomatoes. I can see clearly now, the freeze is gone. God remove all obstacles from my way. I'm bringing my seedlings outside today. It's gonna be a bright, bright, bright bright, sunshiny day.
Mama, what are these?
Those are plums. We had real strong winds. Want to show everybody what they are?
Yes.
There they go. We had real strong winds. Those are plums that fell off the plum tree. So we're going to remove the clips, Bria, from this first garden bed. And you can hand me the clips.
And there's more plums over here.
More plums fell in there? Yeah. You know, we can't get them all, Bria. That happens every year. Here's the plum tree, guys, that she's referring to. That's the Methley plum. So we're gonna go ahead and get these clips off of here, and we're gonna see our beautiful tomatoes that we protected. And marigolds. Now move it back. Look at it. Look at that. Looks good. And now fold it back over here. Okay, now you're gonna go around. Oh, they look good, Bria. Look really good. So when you bring stuff out early and then you have an unexpected freeze, you have to really protect them. You want to move over here, babe? While Bria is removing everything off of this garden bed, let me show you the sunflowers. In that corner, you can see a little damage to the leaves, but not bad. Okay? In fact, we're going to have a flower real soon at that one in the corner. And then also we have the roses. They did very well. And the Bach and Pop Choy. So everything looks good. Get your remaining clips. And stand this plant up right here. That was the Texas Star Hibiscus. We're going to plant that in the ground. You can let me take it. And are those too heavy for you to pick up, the mums? See if you can pick up one with two hands. Watch where you're going. You're going to take it all the way over there.
Oh, wait, where?
Over there, anywhere. Just put it down. Just put it on the ground. So we have everything out here, the mums and the hibiscus. And this is where I'm going to put my seedlings. And I'm going to cover them with a shade cloth. But Bria is getting some of the hoops that usually be in here. And we're going to put them in here first so that the seedlings can be protected. You can put one in, sweetie, on this side. This is how I'm going to harden these beautiful plants off. I'm putting them into this raised garden bed. There's a fence there to keep some of the wind off. And then I'm going to cover it with a shade cloth. And eventually I'll take the shade cloth off and plant them in this bed and wherever I need them to go. This is the easy way to harden off your plants, guys. I'll be back when I cover it up completely. So that's what it looks like, guys. The kale and everything in the two green stalks over there and the two right here look fantastic. And as you can see, the strawberries did really well. I ran out of 30 minutes, so I'm gonna give you a tour when I finish the remodel. Well, this concludes my little video. I am so proud that we endured the little cold temperature, even though it wasn't that cold. Guys, 32 degrees will kill your tomato plants. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Those of you that live in garden zones that are colder than where I live, I hope this will help you when the time comes for you to protect your plants. This is goodbye for now. You guys know that I love you and God loves you too. Bye now.